Look, Kimi Antonelli has now got his first win in Formula One, okay? He's answered the critics. People have asked whether or not he could mount to the challenge and really live his potential. Everything about Kimi Antonelli was potential. But right now, we have finally got that race win under his belt. Kimi Antonelli has proved the doubters. Kimi Antonelli has won the Chinese Grand Prix. Kimi Antonelli has been on pole position. He's had a sprint pole before as well. So he's proven that he can be the fastest driver on the grid. We've proven that. The question now begins is what's next? Can Kimi Antonelli really march on from here? What does this race win actually mean? Do we look at Kimi Antonelli now differently from what we looked at him before? This is a guy who's 19 years of age. He's a young driver, but he's an absolutely phenomenal driver. He's quick, he's fast, he knows how to race a Formula One car. He's proven it. But what does this now mean going forward? Is this just a one-off for Kimi Antonelli, or is Kimi Antonelli now the real deal? Has he stepped to the plate in order to challenge George Russell, in order to challenge for the title, in order to become maybe Mercedes' #1 driver, as well as being ahead of the Ferraris, of the McLarens, of the Red Bull? Can Kimi Antonelli actually come to that place? Well, let's discuss this in this video right now. The landscape has changed for Kimi Antonelli. At first, it was whether or not he can mount the challenge. At first, it was whether he can live up to the potential. But now he has arrived. He has now arrived in Formula One in 2026. And the question now is, can he live up to that billing? Well, here we are. Here is what we need to discuss right now in this moment in time. That Kimi Antonelli is the real deal. I'm here to say that after the pole position and now the race win, Kimi Antonelli is a different human being. He's a different man in Formula One. This is now among the elite drivers who have won Formula One races. This is not a one-off. This is just the beginning of what's to come in Formula One. And this is good for the Formula One fans because I'll tell you what, we need competition in 2026. I made a video about how Ferrari was our only hope in terms of going for a title challenge, in terms of having some sort of mix-up, some sort of competition, some sort of entertainment, excitement ahead of the 2026 season. The 2026 Formula One season is now in full effect. Yeah, it's in full effect. We are here. We've arrived. So buckle up, get your seatbelts on. And I'm glad to say that, you know what? I don't have to just worry about Ferrari alone. I can look towards Kimi Antonelli because he's now stepped to the big plate. This is a guy who is ready to go toe-to-toe with George Russell. He's got the equal machinery as George Russell. We believe that the Mercedes is the best car on the grid in 2026. It's got the best engine. It's got the best power unit put together. And look at it. It's bloody quick. It is fast. It is ferocious. We've seen George Russell on pole. We've now seen Kimi Antonelli on pole. That's the first 2 races of the calendar season. We look forward to Japan. We look forward to Suzuka. We look forward to Miami. We look forward to the races that are still to come. But since the Chinese Grand Prix, Kimi Antonelli has redefined himself. He has now put himself in the conversation. He's among the elite. He's going to be one of those that's going to be fighting with George Russell, with the Ferraris, with the McLarens and so on at the front of the grid. He's going to be in the mix. This has changed him. And it's the fact that we've had a break since that Chinese Grand Prix win, I think even now more so allows him to cement that and actually understand what it means to win a race, what it means to be on pole position. Kimi Antonelli would have had a lot of thought over the course of the past 2 weeks since that maiden win in Formula One, and he's had that moment to think, you know what, now I am one of the best. Now I'm one of the elite. Now I can go toe-to-toe with George Russell. I've proved it. And it doesn't matter about the circumstances or the context of what took place for George Russell in that Grand Prix. It doesn't matter about any of that because at the end of the day, we don't talk about, oh, but if this happened or if that happened. We talk about champions being champions. Regardless of what their competitors' misfortunes were, they are champions. They still live up to the billing. And at the end of the day, the season doesn't lie. The course of the season doesn't lie. You prove yourself to be the best. And now, this is the moment now where Kimi Antonelli, we don't look at him as the other little young boy anymore. No. He's now one of the drivers. He's one of the elite. He's one of the members. He's part of the members club now, okay? And he's going to be going toe-to-toe with George Russell, no doubt about that. George Russell needs to wake up and smell the coffee, okay? There is competition at his door, and it's not from other teams. It's right next door to him, okay? It's from among his own team. Kimi Antonelli is here. And George Russell needs to make sure he keeps him at bay, because if he thinks about Charles Leclerc, if he thinks about Lewis Hamilton, then he's got another thing coming. He needs to look over his shoulder and see that Kimi Antonelli is also now part of this flock. He's proven it. He's shown that he can hang among the elite. Chinese Grand Prix, the Chinese circuit, the Shanghai circuit is a real Formula One track. It is a proper F1 racing track, okay? And Kimi Antonelli showed himself in the Chinese Grand Prix. He showed himself to be the best. He showed himself to be the fastest. He showed himself to be the most mature driver on the grid by getting that win, starting on pole and winning the race. A lot of pressure on his shoulders, as we mentioned previously. But George Russell now needs to realize that this is who his competition is. George Russell's competition is not Lewis Hamilton. George Russell's competition is not Charles Leclerc. It's not the McLarens just yet. Right now it is Kimi Antonelli, because he has arrived. And the Japanese Grand Prix is going to show you exactly why I'm saying this. The races to come are going to show you exactly that George Russell needs to make sure that he has Kimi Antonelli at bay, because if you think for 1 second that this is just a one-off win, George Russell, you already lost the title. George Russell would have already lost the title if he thinks this is just a one-off, this is just a knockoff. No. Kimi Antonelli made himself known. He is here in the title race. Kimi Antonelli is part of this title race in 2026. And it's time for everybody to show some respect, to put Kimi Antonelli on notice, because even from following on the Chinese Grand Prix, right, there was a lot of good stories that took place in that race, okay? There was a lot of drama that happened. There's a lot of things to talk about. I don't like the way Kimi Antonelli's race win kind of been overshadowed by, like, the brilliance of Oliver Behrman, or the fact that, you know, Carlos Sainz got in the top 10, or the fact that the Red Bulls were poor, or the fact that the McLarens didn't start. Let's put some respect, or even just the infighting between the Ferrari drivers. I saw talk about Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton. Guys, let's have some respect. Let's actually give Kimi Antonelli his props. He was sensational. He was absolutely outstanding. Kimi Antonelli was a worthy winner at the Chinese Grand Prix. He dominated the weekend, and we need to put that on notice. It's not like it was a fluke victory. If it was a fluke F1 victory, I could hear it. And I could see George Russell not necessarily paying too much attention to Kimi Antonelli. But that's the biggest mistake George Russell can make. He needs to be aware that Kimi Antonelli is here. He has arrived. And George Russell's real battle is with Kimi Antonelli. This race win has changed Kimi Antonelli forever. It's not the same guy that walked in the paddock last year. This is a brand new Kimi Antonelli. In the same vein that George Russell walked into Mercedes with Lewis Hamilton, the GOAT, walked in there and showed him up, is the same way that Kimi Antonelli is now turning up to Mercedes to show up George Russell. And George Russell hasn't even been there that long as the leader per se. He hasn't even had his driver's title yet. And yet Kimi Antonelli is already there. It's already there. I'm getting that Piastri-Norris vibe, where Lando Norris was putting his time in, putting his years in that McLaren. Oscar Piastri arrives, and my goodness, he challenged for that title last year. It's a shame how it fell off, but let me tell you something right now. He was well and truly there. And I think he put Lando Norris on notice. And Lando Norris thought, my competition is Max Verstappen. It's not just Max Verstappen. It's also Oscar Piastri. And I can see the same vein in which Oscar Piastri was last year in 2025. I can see Kimi Antonelli being the exact same thing in 2026. George Russell, wake up. Don't fall asleep on your teammate. Don't think you're the number one driver and he's the number two. You both have the same equal machinery. You've got the same car. And Kimi Antonelli showed at the Chinese Grand Prix that he is phenomenal, that he's fast, that he's quick, and that he's matured, more importantly. He's very measured. He's very mature. Don't sleep on Kimi Antonelli, because Kimi Antonelli is well and truly in this title race. Mark my words. If you guys believe that Kimi Antonelli is in this title race, make sure you smash a like on the video. If you don't think he's in this title race, comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. Why? Let me know what you think as well. Like, is this just a one-off race win, or are we saying this is going to be the beginning of multiple? Because let me tell you something right now. Kimi Antonelli has got more race wins under his belt this season. No doubt about it. He'll be winning races all over the gaff. I know European races are a bit, shaky warrior for him. Last year, it was a bit horrendous for him in that Mercedes. But the Mercedes is good this year. It's powerful. It's complete. And I think they've still got more upgrades to come. They've still got more up their sleeve before the regulations come in again to try and kind of squeeze them out in June. But Kimi Antonelli has got more race wins under his belt. If you believe what I'm saying, then make sure you do smash a like on the video. If you like Formula 1 content like this, I do debate style kind of content. If you love this kind of thing, subscribe to the channel for many more style like this. And let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Let's have a conversation. Does George Russell need to wake up? Because I believe he does. I believe George Russell needs to make sure he does not sleep on the job if he wants to win this title. And Kimi Antonelli, thank you for your first win in Formula 1. Thank you, because you're going to make this title race very, very competitive. You're going to make it very, very interesting for the rest of the season. And I cannot wait to see what else Kimi Antonelli does in 2026. I can't wait for people to start putting some respect on his name, because he is worthy of the respect. Kimi Antonelli has arrived, and I'm not hearing any noise about it over the last couple of weeks. The Formula One world has been quiet, and they've been dealing with the Aston Martin of it all, and the Adrian Newey's and the Jonathan Wheatleys of it all, and that's all well and good. But guys, don't sleep on the job. Kimi Antonelli arrived in Formula One at the Chinese Grand Prix. That was an unbelievable weekend. We cannot sleep on that. Kimi Antonelli is here to stay. Thank you very much for joining me. You guys are in pole position, and until next time, lights out.